What is up, Banana Pirates? Yesterday, we're back with an entitled parent video on Reddit. I know that you can understand me there. This story is from Roddy Smith. Entitled Parent screams in my 5-year-old month son's face. Also, you might see all the ones that I'm about to show you are saved because I was scrolling through the other day and I was like, oh, I want to record a video on these, so I saved them. Is what it's called. So in England, you don't have to wear a face mask inside shops unless you're under 11 or have. My son is 5 months old and is going through a thing where he fakes coughs to get a fuss. It's extremely awkward in the current state of the world, but most people just laugh and comment on how awkward it must be. I was in Wilco's with him strapped to my chest in a carrier. He was babbling away and I wasn't responding to him because I was looking at some bips and bobs on the show. So he starts fake coughing. Next thing I know, I have a tiny, angry lady grabbing my arm and trying to spin me around. I'm 6'2", about the build of a wardrobe, so I can be a little clummy and a little cockly. I just can't. I can't. These, what? The clummy and cockly? What? What does this even mean? My child hasn't long been able to hold his own head up, so he gets a little whiplash and starts to cry. Me, once I catch my feet and try to soothe the baby. The hell you think you're doing, you silly bastard? Oh my gosh. Oh, he has to wear a face mask if he's gonna be coughing everywhere. My daughter's scared. My God, he's 5 months old. I can't put a mask on him, and the cough is obviously fake. If your kid is scared, keep your distance from her. There was a bit of back and forth, pretty colorful laughter. I'm starting to lose my temper with her getting in my son's face. My baby starts crying more and starts to cough and gag because of how upset he is, practically in her face because of the height difference between us. She then jumps back, covering her masked face and pushing her own crying 8-year-oldish daughter behind her. Her directed at a 5-month-old child, dirty little cunt, putting mask on now. At this point, I'm about to punch this this dog, but then somebody who works at the shop rushes over, hearing us shouting. Tell him that he has to put a mask on his baby. You need to stop shouting. He can't put a mask on a baby. But the little bastard keeps coughing near my kid. She's at risk and scared. My child is hysterical now, coughing, gagging, and crying, and she gets right in his face and screams off in his face. Another shop assistant had to physically stop me from punching her in the mouth and leads me away so I can calm my son down. I apologize and leave, but all I can hear is entitled parents shouting in the shop about how it's the law to wear a mask no matter how young. I'm usually a person that don't tend to have a violent bone in my body, and thinking back, I don't like how close I got to hitting her in front of my own kid. But something about her getting in my son's face got me to quit. Being scared of it, baby coughing, social distance rules, by shouting in its face about not wearing a mask. This one's by Gummy Foo. Entitled Homophobic Father Gets Blasted in Front of Wife and Gay Brother. In late 2019, when this occurred, since I have cut all ties with my father, he has tried to make contact afterwards, but has been denied every time, so he is the key to who's who. OP, EF is entitled father, awesome brother, and awesome mother. Here's a little backstory. In 2014, my parents divorced. My father had weekend visitations for some because we decided that it was too dangerous to be with him, so we spoke over phone. This is a phone call that occurred between him and I. but later introduced the family to the call to show them that they were listening. I'm laying on my bed in my room talking to my father. So is your brother the same way? Excuse me? Is your brother still gay? Yeah, why do you ask? No reason. Please don't ask me about my sexuality as I'm not comfortable talking about it. We aren't talking about your sexuality. No, I'm not comfortable talking about it, mine or my brother's. Why are you uncomfortable? It's your lifestyle, after all. It's not my lifestyle. It's just my choice on who I like. I'm pansexual, by the way. Give me a second. I need to search up what that means. Okay, so I believe, I'm not trying to offend, I believe pansexual is kind of like bisexual. So we go back and forth before I have enough. I walk downstairs and the phone is muted for a few seconds. Okay, so entire father is doing it again. I'm putting him on speaker. Just be quiet and listen. Okay. Brother is in the room but doesn't say anything. I unmute the phone. I don't agree with your decisions, but you're my daughter. I love you anyways. Can we stop talking about this? Why? It's your lifestyle after all. Look, I'm done talking about this in a snarky tone. You better watch your attitude real freaking quick. I give respect where respect is due. Excuse me? Just to tell you, I'm in the living room. You're on speaker. Silence. At this point, I burst out into a lie. You're such a liar, a cheater too. Pride filled me. You want to play that game? Try me. Remember when you lied about me molesting you? Remember when you... Bye. Bye. Call ends. Meanwhile, my mother is in its stitches. Stitches, and my brother's snicking to himself. My father didn't contact me for quite some time, but like he always does, he contacted my mother recently. That's a story for another time. On to the next story. This one's by the bisexual dweeb. Hi, I'm back again with another story about my mom. I just wanted to vent because this story still makes me angry. Each time I think about it, mainly because it happened like a couple of weeks ago during dinner. As you can guess by the title, this story includes my mom yet again. So my family and I were finishing up our dinner, and we were talking about something similar when I brought up the Holocaust, World War II concentration camps in Frank's family, because it reminded me of them. There was a related topic we were already talking about, but I forgot what. They asked a few questions, like, who's Anne Frank? And I told them that my mom had the audacity to make a joke about the Holocaust and concentration camps. Things like, oh, we should lock you guys up, me and my siblings, in your room and fill them with gas so you know how they felt like and concentrate more on things. And we should send you guys to one of those camps. When I tried to explain that people literally died from them, that they didn't want to be there, and that the Nazis took the Jews from their homes to bring them there, she kept brushing off and continued to make jokes about it. Like she didn't care that innocent people were being killed using gas chambers and whatnot. I kept trying to explain to her it's not okay to make these kinds of jokes to her, no effect. Eventually it turned to, we should lock you in your rooms and drop bags of gas, talking about farts in there. No, we don't have any locks on our doors to our bedroom. The only bedroom that did have a lock on it was our parents. I finally decided to shut up because no matter how much I tried to explain, they're not going to stop making the jokes. So I just sat there, finished my food, quietly seething, and hoping they'll tire themselves out and stop the jokes. If I have more stories like this from my parents, I have more stories. So let me know if you want to read them. Edit. I've gotten a lot of book, movie, and museum recommendations. Okay, well, next story. This one's posted by Per1H 2810. I got hit in the head by my aunt for killing people in a game. Content. I'm a 13-year-old student who plays games, and this is the story how my aunt hit me on the head with a cricket bat? Okay. For playing games. Characters, me. I'm just gonna call him OP, but entitled Aunt, Nice Uncle, Mom. Disclaimer, I'm on phone, so formatting might be bad. Also, English is not my native language, so do correct me in the comments. On to the story. So this happened before lockdown, but my school was already closed and we were transferred and we were transferred into the next grade. There's only 4 subjects exams were left. I was having a type of mini vacation before online school started, like 14 days after the break started. And for gamers, those 14 days of free time were a blessing from the gods. So I was playing Valorant, and all of a sudden, EA and NU visit us. I didn't want. Oh my god. I saw EA instead of going Entitled On. In my head, I thought about the video game company. Entitled On and Nice Uncle visit us. I didn't think much of it and stayed in my room. As I was playing, Entitled On enters the room. I take off my headphones and say hi. She started yelling how I was wasting my life away and how she wished I didn't exist. Yeah, she didn't like me. She did like my sister, but she was out with her friends, so she wasn't here. I didn't say anything about it, and then my mom comes in and tells me to come outside as Entitled On wanted to talk to me. I take 15-minute breaks after every match, so I said I would come after this match ends. My mom said okay and have fun. In a nice way, after a few moments I hear Entitled scream about how much of a loser I am, and I'm not even good looking. I agree with that, but I'm not a loser. So after my match was about to finish, Entitled rushes in and slaps me hard enough for my glasses to fly onto my bed. Luckily, she screamed at me that I don't respect her and starts bragging how good her son is. My mom comes in and that woman has the audacity to say I deserved it. My mom screams at her, and Entitled Aunt convinced my mom that she will stay in my room until I'm done with the match. It was the last round. An enemy team rushes onto the site. I am holding, so I kill all 5 players to get the win. Entitled Aunt was not going to tolerate me killing people in games. She takes the cricket bat from beside my bed and hits me in the head. I scream in pain, and she tells me that I'm going to hell and how I didn't deserve to live in the house. She calls me a follower of Satan and hits me on the knees while Nice Uncle was taking her away and apologized a lot and even gave me 1,000. I don't know what type of money that is, which is around $13.34. When my sister heard about this, she threatened her to call the cops on her, but I said no, as I didn't want Nice Uncle to have trouble. She hasn't bothered me since, and in short, I get hit in the head by Aunt for killing people in game. Okay, this is the last story I'm going to do today by Vampire Cappuccino. My grandmother defended my sexual predator cousin. Hello, strangers. I've been a long-time lurker and decided to add the story about my grandmother, or at least one of them. Give me a second. My grandmother is a complete narcissist who is perfectly described to be a mixture of Professor Umbridge and a Dementor. She has the same toad-like appearance and personality as Umbridge, and also sours the mood that literally makes you feel like you'll never be happy again, like a Dementor. My family never collectively agrees on anything. We all do agree that a grandmother is a jerk, and that we never want to see her again. Needless to say, I have tons of stories about her, but today I'll let stories of her favoritism, while my family never talks to my extended family. Most of it is paraphrased as it was years ago, and frankly, I'm too disgusted to think back to all of what was said by my own grandmother. Give me a second. Backstory stuff. I've always been well endowed, and apparently some people, like my cousin Joffrey, did. So back in 2012, we had Joffrey and his father came over to my house to celebrate Christmas. I was 12 at the time, and he was 14. A couple of nights before Christmas, I went upstairs to head to bed, as you do. And sometimes later, before I can fall asleep, I heard a knock on my door. Thinking it was my dad or one of my siblings wanting to annoy me, I said, "Come in," and Jeffrey stepped in, closed the door behind him, and walked up to my bed, seeming almost awkward. What? I had asked, clearly confused. Oh, I want you. No, we're stopping the story right now, because I'm not reading. I'm sorry. I'll leave this one in the description. If you want to read it, you can read it yourself. Bye.